So, today we're going to tackle a huge challenge that pretty much every big company faces. How do you get massive teams, I'm talking hundreds of people, to all pull in the same direction? Well, there's a powerful 2-day event called PI planning that does just that, and we're going to break down exactly how it works. All right, let's start with the big question. Seriously, just picture it. You've got a room with over 100 smart, talented, and, let's be honest, opinionated people. How on earth do you get them all to agree on one single plan that they will actually commit to? It sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, that impossible feeling, that's what we call the alignment challenge. It's this pain point that so many organizations feel. You've got amazing people, great ideas, but it feels like everyone's just running in slightly different directions. You're burning a ton of energy, but not really moving forward together. And when teams are stuck in their own little silos, what you get is, well, it's not pretty. You get friction. You get these frustrating delays. And probably the worst part is all the wasted effort. People working hard on things that just don't line up with the big picture. So how do you fight back against all that chaos? What's the antidote? This right here is where PI planning comes into the picture. It's this super structured, super collaborative event that is designed from the ground up to solve this exact problem of getting aligned when you're working at a massive scale. So what is it really? The official definition calls it a cadenced-based event. That just means it happens on a regular rhythm, like clockwork, and it's for the entire Agile Release Train, or ART, which, by the way, is just a fancy way of saying a team of teams. The whole point is to get everyone, all at once, focused on the same shared mission. And the benefits are huge. I mean, we're talking about more than just making a plan. This is about tying what the developers are doing directly to the company's biggest goals. It forces those cross-team conversations that never seem to happen otherwise. And this one is absolutely critical. It matches the demand, what you want to do, with your actual capacity, what you can do. Okay, but here's the thing. A great PI planning event doesn't just happen. You can't just throw 100 people in a room and hope for the best. The success of those 2 days is almost entirely decided by how well you prepare beforehand. Really, it all boils down to 3 key areas of readiness. First, you've got organizational readiness. Are the right teams even in place? Then there's content readiness. Is the vision actually clear? Do we know what we're trying to build? And finally, you have logistics, the practical stuff. Can everyone actually participate, whether they're in the room or joining remotely? All right, so let's say the prep work is done. Now it's time for the main event. We're going to step inside the 2-day whirlwind, where all those high-level ideas get hammered into a real, concrete, committed plan. Now, the easiest way to think about the 2 days is like this. Day 1 is all about going wide. It's about exploring the vision, creating initial drafts, and uncovering all the possibilities and all the problems. Then, day 2 is about bringing it all back together, taking all that feedback, refining the plans, and finally locking in on one single committed path forward. And the reason this whole thing actually works, the philosophy at the very heart of it, is this one simple idea. The people who do the work plan the work. See, this isn't some top-down directive from management. The whole process is built on trust. The belief that the teams on the ground, the ones actually building the product, are the best people to figure out how to build it. It's all about ownership. So you go through all this intense planning. What do you actually walk away with? Well, during those team breakouts, 2 incredibly important things are created that basically become the blueprint for the next few months. First up, you've got the ART planning board. Think of this as the master map. It shows what every single team plans to deliver and when. But the real magic here is how it makes all the dependencies crystal clear. You can see right there where Team Lions has to finish their piece before Team Unicorns can even get started. Finding these connections is honestly one of the most valuable parts of the whole event. The second key output is a set of PI objectives for each team. Now, these aren't just a list of technical chores. They're written in plain English, describing what the team is actually going to accomplish for the business. And see that business value column? Business leaders literally score each objective on a scale of 1 to 10. That makes sure everyone is focused on what truly matters most. Okay, so you can imagine, when you get this many people in a room building a complex plan, you're going to uncover some issues, some risks. So what do you do with them all? You can't just pretend they don't exist. They tackle every single risk using a really simple but powerful framework called ROAM. For every risk that comes up, the group decides, is it resolved, meaning it's gone? Does someone need to own it and take responsibility for it? Can we just accept that it's a reality we have to live with, or do we need a plan to mitigate it? This makes sure nothing gets forgotten. So the plan is built, the risks are managed, but what's the vibe in the room? Do people actually believe in this thing? That's where the fist of five vote comes in. Everyone votes with their hands. 5 fingers means I'm all in, but if you see people holding up just 1 or 2 fingers, that's a huge red flag. If the average is too low, the plan has to be reworked right then and there until confidence is high. And just like that, the 2-day event is over. But that's not the end. Not even close. In fact, it's really just the beginning. Now it's time to take that beautiful, carefully crafted plan and turn it into a real product. Here's the most important part. This plan doesn't just sit on a shelf and collect dust. No way. The moment the event ends, the action starts. Those objectives go right into the team's work tools. That planning board becomes a living document to track progress. And everyone starts their first sprint with a crystal clear, shared understanding of what needs to get done. And that brings us full circle. PI planning is this incredible organizational tool that takes the natural state of chaos, that ambiguity and misalignment you see in any large group, and forges it into focus, transparency, and, most importantly, a deeply held commitment from everyone involved. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. It's a simple question, but it gets right to the heart of why all this matters. If everyone on your team has a plan, but it isn't the same plan, do you really have a plan at all?